my name is Chloe Krinke, and I will be your clinical psychologist, and I work for Agassi. I understand that your name is Ms. Gates.
Yes, that is correct.
Would you prefer using first or last names in our sessions?
First name.
First names? Okay, well, since you prefer first names, you can call me Chloe, and this is your daughter.
Yep, that's Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
So I see on the intake form that adoption was listed.
Yeah, I actually adopted her when she was about 4 from a small town in Minnesota. We've moved a few times since then. Her dad's in the military, but we have been stationed here for about 5 years now, so it's probably the longest she's actually stayed in one place.
Okay, that's good to know. We'll talk about that in further sessions if that needs to come up. Well, I just want to welcome you two here. I'm glad that I'll be able to work with you guys today and then the following sessions if everything works out. So before you came in today, you were in the waiting room. Did you feel pretty comfortable out there? You find it easy?
Yeah, I found it okay, actually.
It was alright.
Yeah.
I do have concerns though, if I see someone out there, how does that work as far as everything staying here?
Yeah, that's a really good question because this is a smaller town, so you might see friends, you might see people that you work with. So there's a couple different things we can do. We can, if they keep meeting at the same time and you really feel uncomfortable being here, we can schedule a different time. If you see them and you would rather just come in a different way to my office, that's possible. Or if it doesn't really bug you to see them, but you're concerned about confidentiality, we'll get to that later, but it's important to know that, just keep who you see here to yourself, and that way they'll do it to you too.
Okay, perfect.
That's great. So, if you have any questions throughout the first session, just please let me know, interrupt me at any time, because it'll just be a lot of me rambling and telling you what it'll be like in the sessions. We'll always be meeting in my office here, and since this is our first meeting, there'll be about 90 minutes to go over all the information and then go over why you two are here. The subsequent meetings will be about 50 minutes. Do you think that time period will work for you guys?
It will work fine for me.
I don't know. Like, what if I want to hang out with my friends? I just don't know if there's going to be a lot of time
This
for me
is
to
what
meet.
we struggle with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the first time we've stayed here for so long, and I finally made friends. So it's just
Okay, well, yeah, we'll definitely take that into consideration. If there's times where you can't meet, then we'll talk about front desk and cancellation policies, but I think that we'll be able to come up with an idea of when and how we should meet, how many times. So
what if I do carry a pager on me, because I'm a doctor over at the Ultra? If I have to leave in the middle of something, is that where we can work out another time to meet further?
Oh, definitely. We'll always make sure that we get enough sessions in that will fit your guys' needs. And I also, work a certain amount of days and days of the week. So we will we'll go about it, but you won't need to worry that you won't get enough time with me.
Okay, sounds good.
So I will be listening to you guys and asking some questions just in order to get to know you and understand the situation and why you guys are here. Sometimes I'll summarize what you guys say if it was kind of lengthy, just to make sure I understand and can think about it accurately. So I usually look at this first meeting as an assessment session. So this means I'll be asking you some questions and get an understanding of what brought you in here. We might jump around a little bit. I may take some notes, as you see, just so I make sure that we can maybe talk about progress later, and you can see where you guys started today, and then, in the middle and at the end. So before we get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I work. Do you have any questions before that?
I don't. Do you?
no.
Even though we've just met, I hope that you will decide to be open and honest as you tell me about the challenges you are facing. I want you guys to feel comfortable with me and know that you can tell me anything. So how does it sound to you guys?
I don't know. How do I know you're not going to go, tell people, because I don't even talk to anyone about all this stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Ashley, and I'm glad you just talked about that, because now I'll be just getting into what I want you guys to know about confidentiality, because that is a huge part here, obviously. And so I want you to know that every single thing you say in this building, in this room, with me, will remain confidential with the agency unless you give me written permission to share this information you give me with someone else. So if you need to for medical reasons or want to actually go to a different therapist, we'll work with that.
I actually have a question.
Okay.
I would like to share some things with her father. He just can't make it because he has to be on the base at all times. Is that something that I can do?
Yeah, that's a really good question. When you're working with not just one person, you're working with two. It's kind of like a group. So you kind of want to maintain a group confidentiality. So right now, because you brought it up, we can discuss how would you guys like to maintain your confidentiality with each other. So there's different couple things we can look at. Ashley, would you like the fact that what we talk about in here to only be in here? Or, you know, do you want to talk to your friends about it? Do you want to talk to other people about it? Same with you, like you said, that you have a husband and there might be some things Ashley doesn't want her dad to know that we talk about here. So what do you guys kind of think?
Well, I mean, I'd like to kind of keep everything private if you want me to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, if there are some stuff, we could talk about it, and you could ask me if, and I could let you know if you could talk to Dad about it. Because I just don't want him bringing it up when we're at home.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Just discuss it at the end, whether it's appropriate.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep, at the end of the sessions, if you said, hey, you know, I don't want my dad to know that we discussed this, then you can say, okay, yeah, I think that would work. So,
that would make me feel most
okay.
And then I think you should just not tell your friends anything.
Yeah, okay, that sounds great. So, getting back to confidentiality with not just a group, there are some rules regarding the confidentiality. By North Dakota law, I am a mandated reporter, which means that if there has been any suspicion of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse of a child, elderly person, or disabled adult, I'm required by the law to report that information to the proper authorities. Just so you know, I'm not only protecting you guys, I'm protecting other people with what's being said here. Also, if you tell me anything that indicates that you yourself you're in danger, or you're going to hurt someone else, I also required to take the appropriate steps to ensure safety of everyone involved. So, like I said, those are the exceptions. So I want it's important for you to know that everything you say here is confidential, but if it gets into the fact of abuse or harm to yourself or others, we will take the agency policies here and North Dakota statewide of who I need to tell. So, would you like to talk more about the issues of confidentiality, or we discussed that 3 things, kind of the confidentiality in here, what I would need to do to report, and the confidentiality between you two?
I think I'm okay with it. Are you?
That makes me feel
Okay.
better.
Okay, that sounds good. So, I want you guys to also know, just business-wise, that all the records, like what I'm writing here, your consents that you'll be filling out later, the papers you filled out before you even came in, everything is kept securely locked away. So, before you came in, you signed informed consent, and you also filled out some other papers. So I just want to go over some of those things that were on the informed consent, which we have a little bit, the confidentiality, in verbally, so you guys understand it. So when it comes to the front desk things that need to be covered there, that's more like money, insurance issues. Every time you need to set up a meeting with me, you'll deal with the front desk and the receptionist. She's very good out there, and she'll really be able to help you guys out. But it's important to know that all the files, everything's saved on a computer, but then it's saved on a hard drive and put in a safe. So it's very kept safe here at our agency. So is there anything on that informed consent that you want to discuss? It's just very important for you to understand the ethical policies.
I understand everything. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
Here, we will work together as a team to accomplish your goals. When there is more than one client, it is important to know that all of us do need to work together to change things between you two if that is the problem. I'm here to help guide and sometimes suggest other ways of doing things that you're not used to. We will all work together to create that kind of relationship you want. Does that make sense? I just want to make it clear that, it's not just on you, Ashley. It's not just on your mom. Obviously, the reason you're here is if it was single, it would just be a problem that yourself is having. For you guys, you're working together to build up a good relationship. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. So now that all the business is out of the way, would you like to tell me what brought you two here today?
I have an older son, and so I've kind of been through the teenage years, and I never had these issues that I'm having with her, so it concerns me. She acts out, doesn't want to be around the family, is always shutting herself in her room, and it worries me because at times I feel like she could be sneaking out when I'm sleeping, so therefore my anxiety is just high all night long. It's hard for me to sleep. When she is out with her friends, she'll shut her phone off or say that she wasn't by it when I try to call her. She is 18, so technically I suppose she could do what she wants, but she still is in high school and still under my roof. So it worries me that, she's drinking a lot, and, drinking can lead to drugs, so I don't want her to fall down that road. And me, myself, being a teenage mother, I know how easy it is for stuff like that to happen, and I don't want that same thing to happen with her. Altogether, I'm just worried about her well-being, and I just want to make a closer bond between her and I, and an all-around better life for her.
Okay, so as I understand it, you're concerned with Ashley's behavior. You even might be having some anxiety over it, sleeping problems. I want to make sure before we go on that we'll address all those issues. And that I also understood that you thinks that she's distancing herself, and also noted that you just want some help on how to deal with what's going on.
Correct.
So how about you, Ashley? Do you agree with what your mom said? Are you glad to be here? You don't like to be here? What do you want to work on in therapy?
I don't want to be here. I don't think that's a problem. I just think she's too controlling and uptight. And she just needs to let up. It's my senior year. I should be able to do what I want. It really doesn't make sense that we're here just because she heard from her friend that it was a good idea. Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, as I can notice that you're crossing your arms, you're even sitting away more from your daughter. I can tell there's some tension, and I think we will easily be able to address that tension, and I think that this will be something we can work on. So, as I'm hearing, there are a lot of different areas that we can work on, both in your life individually, but in your relationship together. So, I think that it's important that, because I'm not just working with one person, that I think it would be a good idea for you guys for next time to come up with a list of goals, as you would say, or just points of things that you'd like to work on in therapy. And that way we can discuss that, and maybe it'd be easier to think about it for this week, what you want to work on individually and both as a group. So, Mom, do you think that's a good idea?
I think it is.
Ashley?
Sure.
Okay, that sounds great.